and welcome to a book review and a slightly different filming location again because it's Friday night and I am all on my own in the house. There's nobody here but me. My parents are away, my brother's away, both my brothers are away, and my sister's gone to her boyfriend's house. So it's just me. So I thought I would take advantage of the space and the great lighting in this room and do y'all a book review. Also, I have some wine. So we're having a book review, but we've had wine, so it's going to be a good one, hopefully. Although that wine is not nice. I had to go outside to get that, and it's not very nice. I regret my decisions. Anyway, so today's book review is What Happens Now, and this book is by Sophia Money-Coutts. I think that's how you say it. I apologise if I'm saying your name wrong, Sophia, but I butcher everybody's name. This is a proof version of this book. My friend who works for HarperCollins got me this proof version, and it's not out yet. It's out on the 8th of August. We've got a couple of weeks before this book comes out, but I would recommend putting it on your sort of to buy list because I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'll read you what's on the inside of the... Actually, first of all, my friend gave this book to me and pitched it to me with her exact words to me. Excuse me. Her exact words to me were, it's about a girl who goes on a Tinder date, gets ghosted and gets pregnant. And she gave it to me because I was telling her about a really bad Bumble date that I had been on. And she was like, I have a book for you. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. So I'm going to read you what's on the inside here. After 8 years together, Lil Bailey thought she'd already found the one. That is, until he dumped her for a blonde 20-something colleague. So she does what any self-respecting singleton would do. Swipes right, puts on her best bra, finds herself on a first date with a handsome mountaineer called Max. What's the worst that could happen? Well, it's actually pretty bad. First, Max ghosts her, and then, after weeing on a stick, but mostly on her hands, a few weeks later, Lil finds out she's pregnant. She's single, 31, living in a thumbnail-sized flat in London that's hardly the happily ever after she was thinking of. Hashtag dyslexic problems. Lil's ready to do the baby thing on her own. It can't be that hard, right? But she should probably tell Max if she can find him. Surely he's not the Max, the highly eligible, headline-grabbing son of Lord and Lady Rushmore, and currently trekking up a mountain in South Asia. Oh, maybe Max wasn't ignoring Lil after all. Loved this. Absolutely adored it. I really hate when people are like, I couldn't put this book down. But I genuinely couldn't. I picked this book up. I was on holiday. And I picked this book up and I read the first couple of pages. And it's a told in first person book, which I don't really like. I'm not really sure why. I'm not a lover of like first person told stories. I write them, but I don't really like enjoy reading them, and I cannot tell you why, because some of the best books I've read are told in first person, but they always put me off. And I read the first few pages and I was intrigued and I finished it in about 5 days. I loved it. I absolutely adored this book. It is so funny and it is so real. Like, I don't have kids, I haven't had kids, but I get the impression if you've had kids, this book is very real for you people. There was stuff that she was saying that I didn't even know, and like, I'm 25 and I'm an adult, I should probably know these things. But the one that hit home for me was when she was talking about getting ready to go on the date and going on the first date, and that you kind of get this weird like nervousness of, is this person genuinely nice? Is this person looking for a hookup, or is this person a crazy killer clown? Because like, you don't know with these things. You don't know if this person's catfishing you. You don't know if they're pretending to be who they are. And so you get that kind of like, is this a good idea? Fight or flight. Let's have another glass of wine. Response to going on these dates. By the way, I didn't fill this glass the whole way up. It was only sort of a bit of the way full. We only have massive wine glasses apparently, which probably says a lot about my parents. More than it does me. And like I know what that feeling was, and so that was nice. And the way she described sort of the awkwardness of meeting somebody for the first time, but you're supposed to be going on a date with this person, and you're like, yeah, good, what do you do for work? I do this. Okay, let me see if I can find the extract. So her internal thought track when she sees him for the first time. Then I saw him wave from a table by the window. Max. Oh my days. Was this a joke? Some kind of setup? He was so good looking, so obviously absurdly handsome that I felt insanely nervous. I'd always been someone who'd appreciated a classically good looking man. Me too. From a distance, sure. That man at the bar or the party or the wedding might be so hot, almost beautiful. Superman jaw, wide shoulders, big smile, but he was never going for me, so I wasn't going to consider him. It was a self-distance. And then it says, he was trying to mouth something for me from the table. What was it? I squinted at him to try and guess what he was saying and then regretted it. Don't squint at the handsome man, Lil. Hilarious. Hi, I mouthed back. And then, okay, this is the bit. Maybe he's short, I thought, as I pushed my way through the other people. Maybe that's the problem. That's why he's single. Fakes like a gladiator, legs like a hobbit. It had to be it. I have had almost that exact thought train when I have met people on a date. He stood as I approached, not short, even several inches taller than me. So Lil in the story is about, I think she's about 6 foot. I don't have that problem because I'm 5'4". Describes what he's wearing. Good to meet you, he said. Once I sat down and lifted my glass towards him. You too, I replied, raising my glass slowly, trying to keep my arm capped. I grinned shyly at him. My mind went black. Suddenly, it was as if I'd lost all power of speech. I'd gone mute, while all the people around me laughed and talked. And then, this is an alright location because you're in Brixton, right? Like, it just, like, Sophia had obviously been on, everybody's been on a first date, and, like, remembered how, you know, how awkward that gets. You know, the first time you meet somebody, you're like, hello, hi. And then you you kind of go over things that you already go. So she's a teacher, and he says to her, you're a teacher, right? And she says, yes, I'm a teacher. And then they talk about how long they've lived where they lived. And they go on to talk about their exes, which has also happened to me on a date. In fact, I went on a date with a guy who would not shut up about his ex. Yeah, and it's just, that really, resonated with me, that whole first date section, because, you know, I've been on first dates like that. Obviously, her first dates have gone much better than any of my first dates have. Or worse, I suppose. Obviously, her first dates go on to be much better than any of my first dates have. But it's very real. They don't hold anything back in this story. She tells it how it is, which I also really loved. And I really love all of the characters in this story. There are brilliant characters, not just Lil, not just Max. The whole way through this story has incredibly brilliant, funny characters. So she's a teacher, and she teaches, I think she teaches 5-year-olds. Even all the 5-year-olds are such wonderful characters. And that's what you need in a story. Like, I felt like none of these people were throwaway characters. This book ended and I was instantly upset about it. Like, you know when you finish a book and you get that kind of a weird sense of accomplishment and sadness and inspiration and just like a wonderment that you finished this book? I needed more. Like, I genuinely, very, like, not rarely, but it's not often I finish a book like I need more. Most of the time I finish a book and I'm like, that was such a good book, I'm glad I read that book. I try and live by, don't be sad that it's over, smile that it happened. But with this, I was like, just cannot smile that this happened. I need more. And so at the back of this book, there is a snippet of the next, it's not like a sequel, but another book called The Plus One. And I read that, and I'm like, I might have to go out and buy The Plus One. I don't know if that's out yet, or that's another book to come, because that also looks really, really good in the same kind of like real setup as this one is. But I just thoroughly, and do you know the thing about this is, if this was in a bookshop, I probably would not have picked it up and brought it, because I don't have children, and I would assume that this is about having a baby, and I don't have a baby, I have not had a baby, so stories like that don't necessarily resonate with me. Also, I kind of like mysteries, and I like mysteries, and I like I don't know, books that are just kind of strange, and books that not like resonate with everybody. And I'm so glad that she gave me this book to read, because it's absolutely brilliant, and I'm so glad that I read it. You guys can tell how much I've enjoyed this, because I keep telling you how brilliant it is and how much I enjoyed it. Like so the things on the back are cheerful, saucy and funny. That is the Sunday Mirror. A beach cocktail in book form, the Metro. Hilarious, Daily Mail. Who trusts the Daily Mail? But I mean, howlingly funny, Sunday Times. I read you that one. Fun and fizzy, brilliantly relatable, The Sun. That's what I really liked about it. Great sun lounging reader, The Heat. A classy read, The Observer. I don't know if it's a sun lounger reader, because I reckon you can read this any time of the year. I mean, I read this on holiday, to be fair. I didn't go on holiday, I just didn't go to work for a week. I sat in my bedroom and read this, but I feel like you could also read this as like a winter read. Like, it's raining right now, and it's not been particularly nice today, but January, when you're like, okay, it's January, my New Year's resolution is to read more books, start with this one. It will automatically want you to read more. In fact, you'll go and read the book that's in the back of this one, and then you will go and read more books. So if you are thinking, I know it's only July, but if you are thinking my New Year's resolution is going to be, I'm going to start to read more books, I'm telling you, read this one, because it will kickstart your love of reading books. It's just so wonderful. A light fizzy rom-com. It's honestly wonderful. There's some on the inside as well. The Evening Standard, perfectly jolly checklist. Metro, Bridget Jones tapped inside Jilly Cooper novel, A Beach and a Cocktail in the form of a book. Oh, okay, so that's the whole quote. Sarah Morgan, I started reading this book at 3:48 from Waterloo, and by 4:15 I was crying with laughter. Brilliant. Hello Magazine, perfect for fans of Jilly Cooper and Bridget Jones. So if you're a fan of those things, I have never ever read a Bridget Jones or seen a Bridget Jones movie. My two friends are like, we're going to get you to watch Bridget Jones, and I'm like, let's watch The Avengers, and they're like, no. This is literally my friendship with my friends. Let's watch Avengers. No. Or Megamind. Let's watch Megamind. And they're always like, no. I lost my train of thought. Let's have more wine. This is going to be the one with the biggest amount of views on it because of drinking wine. So, in conclusion, please, when this book comes out on the 8th of August, which is in sort of 3 or 4 weeks' time, I think it's in 3 weeks' time, go and buy it and read it, because you will not regret it. Like, so I know some of the books that I review they're older books, and you can just go out to the shop and buy them. You can buy them on Amazon. And they are books that I have just picked up over time and read, and I am reviewing them to you as I just finish them. They aren't brand new books. This is a brand new book that you can go and read, and you will be able to find, and you will absolutely adore, and you will know when, you know, when you recommend it to people, you'll be like, yeah, I saw so-and-so talking about that on Instagram. This is it. Go and buy this book and read it. I know it seems like it's quite a big book to read on holiday. Some people don't take big books, they take smaller books to read. You will read this on the plane, even if your plane journey is 2 hours, if you're a quick reader and your plane journey is 2 hours, if your plane journey is 9 hours, if your plane journey is 4 hours, you will get through this book in that time. I promise you, it is so good. So I can't sleep on a plane. I can't sleep unless I am lying down in my bed and it's dark, if I'm honest. So I cannot sleep on a plane, plus planes are fascinating. So I need something to do. I would have read this in the entire 9-hour flight if I was going away. So please, if you are thinking you need a book to read or you need something different, read this book. It is just wonderful. I'm gushing so much over it because I enjoyed it so much. So this is What Happens Now by Sophia Money-Coutts. Again, Sophia, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Please buy this book. And that's it. Thank you for watching and joining in I hope you've all enjoyed this. I hope you're all also enjoying a glass of wine. This wine is it's like Echo Falls blackberry juice or something, summer berries I think. It's actually not very nice, but if you're all enjoying a glass of wine on this Friday night and you all go and buy this book, please tell your friends to like and subscribe. If everybody tells one friend, we might get more subscribers. Tell your friends to get this book, and I will see you next time. Kwaherini.